Hello, what's up? Well, nothing. Nothing is up. Well, except the fact that I had somehow managed to break my spine. You see, let me regale you of a tale of how that happened. I woke up early, not really early in the morning, late in the evening. Decided to check up on my PCs and then check up on my grinding machine. I filled with a bunch of traps to kill a bunch of mobs so I can get some loot. Also checked on my heart statues that produce hearts for me so that I can never run out of hearts. After that, I passed my strange duplication machine that probably is going to be patched next Terraria updates, and then I made a mistake and slipped right off the cliff edge of my building and broke my bones and shattered my spine because I had forgotten to put on my wings. And that is how that happened. Now that I am unable to jump without my spine split into pieces, I decided to make a challenge out of it, which is, can you beat Terraria without jumping? Now let's get right into what exactly I'll classify as jumping. I will class pressing the spacebar as jumping, which means that dismounting of a mount or something is classed as jumping using the spacebar. Using wings to fly is jumping. Using any other accessories that requires you to press the spacebar is jumping. So unfortunately, no cloud in a bottle or anything related. Anything that uses the spacebar is jumping. Basically, that is just flat out the rule. No spacebar, that is jumping. I also have to kill all the bosses in the game to consider the challenge a success. Now that the rules are out of the way, let's proceed with the challenge. Okay, so I spawned in and looked around to see if there was anything of value on the surface. Seeing as there was nothing of value on the surface, I decided to then cut down some trees. And then something tragic happened. Yep, that has happened. I stood there, gobsmacked, thinking to myself that I had just gone about 2 minutes before I had made a mistake. After wandering around a bit dazed, confused, like a 3-year-old that just gained sentience, I decided to hit the reset button, take me back to the Terraria menu and make me have to do try number 2. Okay, try number 2. I hope that I don't make the same mistake early on this time. So I did what I did last time. I started cutting down some trees again, and wait a minute, this seems very familiar. And lo and behold, I was right and made the same goddamn mistake by jumping to reach a hill. Feeling the urge to slap myself repeatedly, I instead decided to reset before losing myself to complete and utter rage. Okay, this time I'm not going to make the same mistake again. I am not, and I mean it this time, not going to touch the spacebar. Just completely keep my hands off the spacebar. Okay, so here is the plan that I've laid out. Cut down trees, find a bloody cave, mine gems in said cave, and then make a hook. Okay, good. I run on board. Nice. I tried going left, but I got chased by a bunch of crimson enemies, so that one is a boss. I got to go to the right side and went underground, but I got rolled by a cactus, unfortunately. I came back to the underground and got myself a life crystal to increase my health bar. I then found a chest that contained a big maze for me to go around clubbing my enemies to death. While exploring the underground, I got spit by a bat and contracted some random virus strain. Hopefully it doesn't mutate further and kill me. Oh, f*** off, man. What is this crap? The moment that I can't use this accessory, I immediately get it. I found the glowing shroom biome after that fiasco, which had a trap that basically sent me to the back rooms. After collecting enough gems, I went back to base and crafted a hook, which will make moving about the place and reaching places out of my reach a lot easier, so I'd have to keep on using rope. I also built a railway network that I'm going to expand throughout the entire world map to get from place to place easier. But for now, this is just a boss arena. Speaking of bosses, here comes the Eye of Cthulhu to pay me a visit. The Eye is a slimy and repulsive visage whose sole purpose is to creep on you in the showers and stare at you through your computer screen. Its second form is even more creepy and repulsive. Long sharp teeth that grew from its eyes, forming a mouth dripping with some strange substance. And its breath, a corrosive foul stench that if it touched you, you would melt into a puddle of... Wait, if I this over. Well, that was fast and easy. I thought the eye to obtain the next item is going to be very useful for better mobility and movement for me. That item is the Eye of Cthulhu accessory, which basically has a dash that helps you move faster. I made my way through the scorching sands of the desert, hoping to find the humid and cooling jungle. When I found the jungle, I decided to cool off in the thirst-quenching waters. Considering how green the waters is, I hope that I haven't just ingested the parasite and have a chance of becoming patient zero for the next Resident Evil game. Oh well, it's probably fine, I think. I went into the underground jungle and found a jungle chest which had a plant stalk in it, which is quite laughable, mind you. I went back to the surface and started expanding my minecart railway network, so I don't have to explore the world using only my grappling hook and my dash, which will be pretty hellish. After building my Polar Express station, I went to the underground Crimson to prepare for my next boss fight. I broke about 2 hearts that gave me a revolver and another revolver. I then built a mini railway arena, then broke the final heart, which spawned in the Brain of Cthulhu, which is a boss with an extremely wrinkly brain, which clearly makes it smarter than the average creature on this Terraria world. At least smart enough to perform tricks, like casting a reflection spell on me to confuse me. But unfortunately my draw was quicker and my bullets were plentiful, which finally put it in the ground, stone cold dead. I used the materials obtained to craft the Crimson Armor for better protection. I went to the jungle and accidentally broke a bee larvae when I wanted to blow it up, because I had somehow forgotten how sensitive the larvae can be. I got on my minecart track and fought the queen bee, who was absolutely rinsing me like a raccoon washing its cotton candy. But luckily for me, I lived through it by the skin of my teeth. Next up is Skeletons, who has grabby hands that molest you in your sleep, while simultaneously telling you that it's all going to be okay. Well, that got super creepy and weird and strange and all of the above. Anyway, I cast you back to Yale confessional booth and stay away from damn altar boy's Skeletron. I then played Tomb Crawler and crawled down the dungeon while dodging undead skeletons and wailing skulls. I was in here to loot and steal from the dead and dying. I also wanted to find a shadow key, which might help me get a new minecart. I eventually find said key, which I promptly stashed away. I then crafted a bridge spawner from later. I had crafted a king slime spawner, which I used to spawn in the king slime, who started doing the things that I couldn't, like jumping, which enraged me, leading me to laser its crown off its bald slimy skull. I then began tunneling my way down to hell, so I might alleviate the abandoned houses of their loot, because the dead don't need all that loot now, do they? I got down to hell and started yonking everything that wasn't nailed down to the floor. While I was down here, I also decided that I might as well pick up some hellstone ore, which burned the skin off my feet while mining. I then went back to base and made a molten pick using the hellstone, which set my hands on fire while trying to use. I then left back down my elevator and ran to the left side of the obsidian bridge, which I had built previously using the bridge builder. I then summoned the pulsating wall of blighted flesh, the wall of flesh. Then I started blasting, taking off chunks of the flesh as I lasered the wall. I did that until it collapsed into a pile of flesh, sending me into hard mode to begin part 2 of this challenge. I began hard mode as per usual by crafting the altar exterminator, I climbed up to my minecart railway and used the item, respawning a ton of ore and also a horde of wraiths waiting to eat me and threatening to do some very not safe workings to me. After exterminating all the wraiths, I went down to the mines and started mining for some cobalt ore to further my progress. I mined enough ore to craft bars back at base and then crafted a cobalt pickaxe. And then I went back to slaving in the mines, mining for the orichalcum ore so I can craft some armor. While mining, I made a mistake again by stepping on another backrooms trap. I got out of the backrooms and home and then crafted the orichalcum armor. I then took this strange crystal in my hand that I found on the ground and crushed it, which angered a mysterious force that appeared as the Rule 63 version of King Slime. As it tried to sit on my face and suffocate me, I expertly dodged her and my slimy butt. Not being able to keep up with me, she summoned her wings and started flying everywhere, reminding me of another thing that I'm not allowed to do in this challenge. I cried and screamed and then blew her slimy brains right out of her skull. After sulking around in my base, I went down to hell and started to kill a bunch of mimics. I was looking for the Dealer's Storm Bow, but all I was getting from these mimics was nothing but trash. I tried to remedy this bug in the system by finding the Shimmer biome and changing the loot. I found the biome and threw in the item into the pool, but it was not working. What I had neglected to remember was that the loot exchange for mimics was banned in about 700 Terraria worlds. With this knowledge in hand, I had to do this the hard way, which was killing a bunch of mimics, but I got nothing again, making me cry in shame and regret. I then crafted a forbidden item called Wings. I did this not to fly, but to negate fall damage. After whipping myself till my eyes went red in the corner of my base, I went to my minecart track and summoned not one, but two eyeballs this time. For some strange reason, when I hit them, they sounded a bit mechanical. Was it something they ate? Or were they some kind of mechanical machination that was made to spy on me by some evil shadowy world lord that resides on the moon? Or are they just mechanical gremlins that I hate very, very much? Moving on, I summoned Skelenosis' older brother, who this time has an extra set of arms that are equipped with some very sus tools. He tried to use these tools on me, which is, in my opinion, just threatening me with a good time. After clapping the skeleton cheeks, I spawned a mechanical worm that eats dirt from underneath your toenails and asks you for feet pics. Disgusted by this revelation, I rained down stars upon it which burns through its armored body every 3 minutes. Killing it made all the enemies in Joko start a crazy dance rave party where breakdancing is allowed. I went back to base and crafted the Highland armor using the materials dropped by the bosses. I also upgraded my minecart, which means that I have better and faster minecart now. It also comes equipped with lasers on the house. I then went over to the underground jungle again to join the party that was currently occurring down there. To my disappointment and shame, there was no party, no breakdancing, and no fun allowed down here. Speaking of no fun allowed, look who is late to the party that isn't happening. Now take care of them really quickly. Yeah, much better. Where was I? Ah yes, summoning the next boss time will remove me from the senses. This boss is a gremlin right down here, with a pink bud that is covering what I assume is a fleshy inside, that is filled with a horrifying maw with rows of sharp teeth, ready to eat me and puncture me. And look, I was right. Who would have seen that coming? Definitely not me. Now that the plant has wilted, I teleported into the jungle temple.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
I was here to steal all its treasures and also murder its local native population. After harvesting all their treasures and shipping them back to foreign lands, I went back to base and stumbled my way back down to the dungeon, but there was now new inhabitants in there that I would like to have a very, very fruitful conversation with. And by conversation, I mean shoot them in the back of the head while their backs are turned, as per international treaty established by Relogic. After relieving the scattered bones of their weapons, I went back down to the jungle temple to showcase them against the golem. The temple guardian, aged and crumbling, tumbled out of its altar, sucker punched me in the face, to which I said no. I will not be having any of that. Here, have a face full of rockets instead. Activity said yummy in my tummy. Wait, why did I write that? Feeling unsatisfied by the goal, I decided to fight another boss, the Empress of Lights. The moment I summoned her, she tried to instantly flash me with her attacks, you dirty lighted freaks. But unfortunately, I love hunting overgrown butterflies with my sniper rifle, and gunned her down like a poacher searching for the last remaining elephant to get his ivory. I went back to the underground mushroom and caught a truffle worm. I then went to the ocean biome and spawned in the monstrous terror, the Duke of the High Seas, Duke Fishrod, and it did not end well for me. Okay, so try number 2. Try not to shit the bed this time. Okay, this is more like it. Riding back and forward in my minecart while being chased by a coked up mutated alligator fish. Am I sure that this world is not Florida? I went over to the dungeon where these strange ghoulish creatures were talking about ordering some chicken goujon. Well, that didn't matter to me, so I started blasting. With them spawned in their boss, angrily asking where their chicken goujon was. Thinking I was the delivery person, they decided to pay me in the most dangerous way possible. I dodged and weaved my way out of getting a soul blast down my throat. Upon their deaths, an actual space party started, put to the brains with the stars of the show, the lunar pillars, and their groupies, the lunar enemies. They wasted no time pouncing on me while asking me to do about 10 lines of coke with them. I of course said no and blasted them in their faces. I then went to do what a party pooper does and send these party animals packing. After killing 2 players, I came back home and crafted the vortex beater to make clearing the lunar event out much quicker. I shot down another pillar and then made our way over to the final one.
1 to go.
After going down the final pillar, it was finally time to end this challenge. While I sat on my track system, anxious about how this fight was going to go, I thought back to how this challenge started and to how I got here, and how hard it was to first initially move about the place. And wait, here he is, the Moon Lord, the final boss of the game. If I killed him with that, hitting the spacebar once, and I would have officially won this challenge. And time. Wait, no action. Wait, that's game. Well, now that he's dead, I guess I won. Yay, I guess. Feels like that is the end of the game, I guess. I won fair and square. Well, what do I do now? I just end the video right here. But I will briefly mention a few things first before I go. First of all, I actually practiced this challenge off screen to see if it was actually possible. I made it all the way to hard mode before I decided to try it for real. So this is for those who may think that it's kind of odd and I did this within 3 attempts. Don't worry, I practiced this, so I kind of already knew it was possible. Secondly, I am currently cooking up a new video that involves another challenge, this time even more insane than this one. And that is all I have to say. Thanks for watching, make sure to like, subscribe and comment down below. And I'll be seeing you in the next challenge. So take care and yeah, bye. Wait, am I forgetting something? Oh, that's right, I forgot this boss. I completely forgot this boss exists. Most Terraria players do the same thing, so I'm not the only one. So let's just get this over with right then. He's quite weak and he misses a lot, so you might have to get his eyes checked out. Wait, did I leave the stove on? Nah, it's fine. Oh look, he's dead. And I didn't think we'll have to lift a single finger up. And then, wait a minute, what's that?